What's up, guys? This is definitely different style content. I haven't done a video like this in a while, talking about a subject that I think is really important regarding collecting, regarding Pokemon, the hobby, the whole everything. I could talk about Scarlet Violet all day, but there's a lot of people that are going to be covering Scarlet and Violet soon, so I don't see a point to really cover that right now. One thing that I feel is more pressing personally in my life, and probably a lot of other collectors' lives, is the fact that none of us are really pacing ourselves, right? Maybe you are. Maybe I'm one of the people that's just not good at it. But Pokemon has kind of taken my life by storm, and I love it. You know, I talk it, breathe it, live it. I'm always doing something Pokemon. When I go to the bar, like I literally have 20 minutes till I go to a shift at the bar, but I don't care. I wanted to make a video. That's why I started a YouTube, so that I can make videos and just put my thoughts out there when I get them right on the spot. I do a lot of videos this way. My videos are raw content. It's unedited most of the time. But yeah, so like even when I get to the bar, somebody is coming to the bar that I knew in high school, and they're coming to bring me their collection to look at. I'm constantly, even while I'm at work, doing something with Pokemon, regarding Pokemon. But the purpose of this video is kind of to say, pace yourselves, because Pokemon is not going anywhere. And I should be do as I say, not as I do, right? I have had a bad habit of racking up debt, buying a bunch of cards, getting sucked into it, then kind of getting rid of my debt, then saving money and being good about it, and then doing the whole process again. Now, this is the addictive personality of eBay. This is the this is the addictive part of eBay. This is the addictive part of, auctions, and the thrill and the chase and the hype of it all, and the enjoyment of finding the deal, and getting a good price on something. And you get addicted to that. And before you know it, your auction list is super, super long, whether you're using other websites or eBay, whatever. I'm just eBay as an example. But it gets out of control very quickly. You have to pace yourself. You have to pace yourself. This is something that I am constantly working on, constantly trying to do a better job of, not buying it. I have a pile here of more stuff to do for another mail day, because my mail day series is like one of my favorite things, where I just open up stuff that I'm looking at, stuff that I've bought, stuff for you guys to enjoy with me. We're all kind of in the whole experience together. I don't get any mail in that I open myself. All of it gets opened up for the channel, for you guys, with you guys, so we have that memory and that experience together. That being said, it's very expensive, right? I'm sure plenty of you have wondered, how much money does this guy actually spend on Pokemon products? And maybe it would be an interesting video to actually break that down. I'm sure it's somewhere in the like $200,000 area or $150,000 area, something around there, just in raw cards, boxes, sealed stuff, booster boxes, collection boxes, buying modern, buying vintage, opening modern. There is so much of it. Now I'm getting into consoles as well. I don't have my Game Boy in here. Last night I was playing Heart Gold, but it's and Aspen agrees. It can be very overwhelming. That's my 1-year-old daughter. If you're new to the channel, there are usually dogs barking in the background, or a washing machine going. We're a family house. There's always stuff going on. If you guys want to come in here, feel free. Like, I don't care. People know that this is a channel where, like, I'm a family man. My family's always around. I've literally told my wife, like, you should just pop into my videos with me so that we're all in here together. Honestly, I don't think anybody's going to care. Say hi! Say hi! It's wholesomeness. Oh, you want to come here? Okay, so what I'm trying to say... Okay. What I'm trying to say is you need to pace yourself, because there's so much product out there. It's never going to be like, I'm never going to see this deal again. And a lot of times I feel like that. I feel like I'm never going to get a good price on something again. And then, a week or two later, oh, you want to stay with Daddy in the game room? I know, she loves the game room. A week or two later, I find that exact item for a price below what I previously saw it for. So my dad has always said this. He's taught me well on this, and I should act on it. But there's always a better deal. That's something my dad has told me my whole life, because I've always been a collector of something my whole life. There's always a better deal. That being said, I am guilty of rushing into Scarlet and Violet. I bought 4 cases, albeit at a much lower price than I was originally going to pay. So I'm very happy about that. I'll be able to open up some product for the channel. And I'm at a point now where I don't even care about that. Before, early in this channel, I would have been like, guys, get the dogs to stop barking. Why is Aspen crying right now? I just want to do a 20-minute video. It just doesn't matter anymore. My channel is an extension of who I am, and I'm a family man now. I love Pokemon. I love this hobby. I love collecting things in general, the chase, everything, but this is my life now, and people on the channel just are going to get used to that and hopefully learn to love it. I do think it's unique. I don't think there are a lot of YouTubers, streamers that their family is coming in all the time. The dogs are barking. It's all a part of the whole channel, But anyways, off topic, pace yourself, because you are always going to find that deal again. Look at the bidders, see who you're bidding against. A lot of times it's people with low feedback. That means they don't know what they're doing, and they're just upbidding you. They're being competitive. You've got to learn. You've got to know when to just say, you know what, this is enough. I'm not going to get roped into paying a massive price on this stuff. And the other thing is markets fluctuate, right? The Pokemon market is not just a steady market going up. There's all kinds of products. There's stuff going down. There's stuff going sideways. There's stuff rocketing, like the Umbreon from Evolving Skies. There's plenty of great examples that people can comment and they can say, yeah, exactly. This one card has just only gone up. There are good examples and there are bad examples, but there's always going to be another deal out there. In the last couple years, I have noticed that I thought that some of the sealed collection that I have, some of the older vintage sealed items that I have, I like my theme deck collection. As you guys can see, I'm a big theme deck collector. That stuff I thought I was never going to find again, and I found it countless and countless times again. It's just a waiting game. Just be patient. Don't rush into anything, and manifest. Believe that you're going to find everything that you want and that you're looking for, and it will come to you. To that point, the more that I broadcast that I'm a collector and that I love Pokemon and Nintendo consoles, people are actively coming to me from social media platforms, and they're like, hey, I have some stuff if you want to look at it. Hey, I have some stuff. Do you want it? I'll just give it to you. You will get everything you want in this life, but you have to manifest it too. And honestly, I've been doing the opposite of that by going on eBay and being impatient and trying to get everything now. As you guys know, I've started a really nice Game Boy Pokemon game collection where everything is in the box. It's not sealed, but it's in the box. Those have gotten really expensive, but there's a good chance I could have found those locally for a lot less, and someone has them laying around, and I just have to be patient and broadcast that I'm looking for this stuff and that I want it, and it probably would have wound here some way or another. That's happened a lot lately. I've had a lot of people bring their collections to me, a lot of people, sending me pictures of stuff, albeit it's a lot of stuff that I don't end up wanting or buying, but that's besides the point. Everything is going to come to you in time if you're patient and you're willing to wait it out. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. There's always going to be another deal. Don't go crazy looking at stuff online over and over and over again. Hyper focusing. There are so many things that I have hyper focused on, and I end up randomly finding them. Not even looking for them, I end up finding them. That's one of the most common things that ends up happening to me. I'm looking at something, I'm bidding on it, and then it gets astronomically high priced in the bids, and I lose, and I get really salty about it, and it leaves a really bad taste in my mouth, and I get a little bit depressive, and I'm like, all right, I'm taking a break. And then the next thing pops up. Now, I have definitely been getting crazy in terms of ordering stuff in. I need to get back to making videos where I'm just talking about aspects of being a collector and this hobby as a whole, and market speculation, whatever you want to call it. I need to get back to what I was doing in the beginning of this channel. My mail days, opening product, that was never the foundation of this channel. The foundation of this channel was just being myself and speaking my thoughts and being as transparent and as truthful as possible in my personal experiences. I have racked up over $10,000 of credit card debt on Pokemon stuff multiple times, and I've paid it off multiple times, but that's besides the point. It is an addiction. People don't talk about it enough. You've got all these YouTubers that are like, I'm done, it's over. They do these super clickbaity titles that make you click on it and make you think like, oh, what's the reason for this person leaving? No, they're not leaving. They're just saying that they're slowing down. We are all going through this, and for whatever reason, no one is actively saying it that we all need to pace ourselves, okay? Because this stuff isn't going anywhere, and the market could seriously drop in the next couple of years. We could be in a bubble. No one seems to be talking about that. I have a lot of people that are saying modern product is going to skyrocket. There's nothing, and I think a lot of that has to do with all of these, influencers and YouTubers, myself included. We are paying premiums for this product to open it and show you on the channel. We're paying a premium to do that. We're spending a lot of money to do that. And we're fueling this never-ending machine and expectation of always opening stuff up on our channels. That's not financially sustainable. The average person is not going to be able to go on eBay and just rack up a massive auction list of stuff they're bidding on. Like, it's not sustainable. And I want you guys to know that that is the truth. It hasn't been sustainable for me for years. I have scrimped, I have scrounged, I have made it work, I have been frugal, I have deprived myself of other things, whether you want to call that buying a new pair of socks or underwear or t-shirts or whatever. I get my t-shirts from Amazon, I get joggers from Amazon for like dirt cheap. Like, I try to live below my means in other ways so that I can afford all of this stuff, and it's still really, really difficult. I work my butt off at the bar, I operate and manage a bar, and I make really good tips on a high volume night. I can make like 400 or 500 in tips, but like, it's crazy because like, you can buy an old vintage theme deck for $300 or $400 if it's a really nice theme deck, like a really sought after one, and then boom, that whole night of hard work is just negated. It just doesn't even matter. So like, I work really, really hard to make all this stuff happen, and the point I'm trying to make here is that it's not like anybody can do this. You just have to know where to look and know where to find the right deals. No, I have paid an arm and a leg for the stuff that I've collected over time. But I love this hobby. I don't care about making my money back or this stuff going up in value. That's all great. That would be nice. But at the end of the day, the whole point of the channel was just to showcase what I've collected, how far I've come, and that I'm making goals of like collecting, parts of every single set, trying to binder every single set, having all the shining cards, having all the gold star cards. I have some seriously big ambitions, having all of the first edition collections. I have some seriously crazy ambitions, completing Skyridge, completing Aquapolis, completing Expedition. This is going to be seriously tough. I'm not going to do this overnight. And I keep telling myself in a month, in 2, in 3 months, you'll have everything collect. That's so unrealistic, and you might be telling yourself the same thing. I know that I was happier and felt mentally healthier just taking my time and occasionally looking for something instead of, and making longer form videos like this where I'm just talking about a subject. No, this is not going to be a 30-40 minute long video. I'm actually going to cut it off short very soon here because I do have to run to work. But I had to make this video. I had to let people know that this hobby can destroy you financially. And I've been kind of avoiding talking about that because I want the hobby to grow. I want more people to come to the hobby, but at the same time, this channel was built and has a foundation on transparency and my experiences and my stories. And, I was very financially irresponsible. Last year I was super irresponsible. Recently I bought 2 first edition Charizards. Why I bought 2, I don't know. I only needed 1. I accidentally won 2 auctions. I know you might say, oh, how did you accidentally win 2 auctions? Well, I wanted to see, I didn't think I would win either of the cards, but I put in a bid for both of them, and I won the bid for both of them. Honestly, I think the Charizard First Edition was on a low point on the graphs. I got those cards for $4,000 each. They're PSA 5s. One's a thin stamp. One is a thick stamp First Edition. Do your research. If you don't know what that is, all I'm trying to say is that the First Edition stamps, one is slightly thicker than the other. Just look into it. Anyways, I didn't have to do these things. I could have reached out to the seller and been like, hey, I already won one of these cards. I don't need to. I'm really sorry that I bid this up. But I'm a man of my word, and I really barely ever cancel anything. I barely ever bid up on something and then say, nah, I changed my mind. I don't want to buy it. Because I don't know. I think that's wrong. And I think that, some people they realize financially they can't do it. Okay, sure. But it's super irresponsible and it's unfair to the seller. It's disrespectful and insulting to the seller when you've made them lose an opportunity to sell to somebody else because you weren't prepared to pick this card up or pick this item up or whatever. So, I've made some serious, mistakes, feeling like I owed a seller something. You don't owe anybody anything. That's the reality. You don't owe anybody anything. And I've always just paid for everything. I've always just dealt with it. Even if I got cards or products that I didn't feel like were worth it, I just kind of shrugged it off. Whatever, this was a learning experience. Next time I'll look more closely at the photos, or I'll, ask for more photos, or I'll really make the seller prove to me that this item is in the condition that's listed as. But pace yourself. You don't owe anybody anything. Do your due diligence. Really, the research is more valuable than the actual buying of this stuff. If you know more about the market, about this stuff, that will help you in the long run for not overpaying, for giving offers. And you know what? You might see an offer for a recently sold item, and then you message a seller and you're like, hey, this item sold for this amount of money. I'd be willing to do this amount of money for this item. It sold yesterday for this price. And the seller might absolutely freak out. I just did a video recently talking about this. You don't have to watch that video. I'm just saying this happens and it's very common, and you don't have to feel like, there's something wrong with you, or that, you should have messaged the seller a little bit differently. No, it is the job and responsibility of sellers typically to treat people with respect and dignity. That being said, it's a free world, it's a free country, people can say whatever they're going to say, and they're going to anyways. So, sometimes you just have to brush it off, you have to let it just roll off of you. But it's okay to lowball someone. It's okay to send an offer that's more in line with the market, even if it's half of the list price of what that person is selling. You don't know what situation that person's in. Maybe they're like me. They've racked up a ton of, credit card. They've used their credit card to buy a bunch of stuff, and then they have to pay it off. Okay, if that were the case, maybe that person would be willing to sell that item at the recently sold list price. You never know, so it doesn't hurt to just send an offer. A lot of times I see these auctions, and the bids just get kind of out of control, whether it's for Game Boy stuff or Nintendo consoles or Pokemon cards. It just gets kind of crazy, and you kind of get that gut feeling that you shouldn't be paying as much as you are. Sometimes it's actually a better deal to just go to the buy it now best offer type listings and work with them. I have worked with countless sellers, hundreds of sellers, hundreds of sellers, at least like 3, maybe 400 sellers I've worked with that we've had great transactions. We've talked about it. We worked out a deal respectively. 9 times out of 10, you probably will get that result. You don't have to feel like you have to be bidding on this stuff. The whole nature of collecting and accumulating this stuff, it's very addictive, and the hobby's not going anywhere. More and more I've realized, if I'm doing this the rest of my life, if I'm always going to be collecting stuff the rest of my life, I have all the time in the world, right? I'm always telling myself, and you guys might do this too, I'm always telling myself, dude, when are you going to see another one of these pop up? When are you going to see another one of these pop up in the condition that you're seeing it in right now? What are the chances? Oh man, this product is so mint, it's so nice, the dogs are all running around being crazy. It's so nice, it's so mint, I have to have it. If I lose this auction, I'm never going to get over it. Been there. I've been there. I've had auctions. I've had listings where there are some that I still haven't let myself forget about. Forgiven myself for just being yo, I had something to do. I was with my family. I was making a YouTube video and I lost that auction. It happens. It happens. I didn't put in my best bid. It happens. It's just, you have all the time in the world. And the best thing about this channel now is the community we're building. We have a small community, and I love that. We have a small community of guys that know each other and care about each other, that when they come into the chats, they're like, yo, what up, so-and-so? Like, that's people's favorite part about this channel, I imagine. One, it's the transparency and the truthfulness and, like, telling it how it really is. But two, it's also the community that we're building and that we're all chopping it up. And we all want to have good vibes and a good time. I've thought a lot about doing content on rude sellers. I've thought about that a lot. And now I'm kind of thinking that's not where I want to go with this channel, because that makes me give my energy to that seller that mistreated me or said a mean thing. Even if I'm making it humorous and I'm making it entertaining and I'm not like blasting the seller name and I like black out the seller's name, but I show the messages and stuff, that's me giving energy to something that happened to me that was kind of negative, and I don't know if I should do that. I want this channel to be positive, I want it to be truthful, and I want it to be fun. I want it to be enjoyable for everybody. So that's something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I just had to do a quick update and tell you guys that, like, it's not the end of the world if you don't get this stuff now. You know, all of you guys just need to understand, if you are in the hobby now, whether you're new to the hobby, whether you've been collecting for years, and those of you who've been collecting for years are probably really good at this. You probably are way better at this than I am at pacing yourself. 3 years, which is pretty much how long I've been collecting now, is not long enough to actually feel like you have a really, really good pulse on the markets. It's not long enough. People have told me, like, you know, when I'm offering, you know, certain prices for things, people have told me, like, you should know better, like, this item doesn't sell for anything less than this, you know, ever. There's always an outlier, right? And you could be that outlier. You could be the person that gets a better deal than everybody else just because you asked. You know, it's as simple as that. But some of you may be better at this, at just pacing yourself and waiting for the right deal to come about, because you've seen the market, you've seen items come and go on the market. You know, there are a couple niche items that I cannot let slide. I have to try and bid on them. I have to get them. But other than that, honestly, 90% of the stuff I buy, I could just get another day. I could just get another month. I could just have no debt at all. And when I say debt, I'm talking about my credit card. I'm not talking about my assets, my net worth, my savings, my investment. I'm not talking about any of that. My retirement, I'm not talking about any of that. I'm simply talking about my credit card and what's on my credit card. I'm just trying to be transparent because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about the monetary side of things. Nobody wants to talk about the financial side of things, or how destructive it can be, or the repercussions of, you know, going off the deep end as a collector. No one really seems to be talking about that much. So that's something on this channel I try to be super transparent about. Anyways, I hope you guys can appreciate my honesty. And I love you guys. I love this channel. More and more, it's growing into a dream channel for me, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Anyways, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Pace yourself. Pace yourself. This hobby's not going anywhere. That's kind of the gist of this video. Just pace yourself, and you have all the time in the world. Pokemon cards aren't going anywhere. And this modern product that comes out, you know, and then it gets all eaten up and absorbed and the prices are going higher. That's a whole other video that I need to talk about, because that's just, it's ridiculous. What's happening in Pokemon right now, the prices that sellers are asking, the prices that Pokemon is asking for, $160 a booster box for Scarlet Violet, it's a whole nother video. This video already went too long. It was supposed to be shorter. But anyways, guys, you know how I do. Anyways, peace out. Everybody have a great day. Pace yourself, be responsible, and try and learn something from this message today. Peace.